इस वक्त की सबसे अहम खबर जो आलमी मंजरनामे पर एक कायदा एक डिस्कशन के लिए जो है वो खुल चुकी है और हर जगह इसी एक खबर की बात हो रही है, और वो है मक्का एग्रीमेंट जो पाकिस्तान, तुर्की और सऊदी अरब के दरमियान में एक डिफेंस कॉपरेशन या डिफेंस पैक्ट की तर्ज पर जो है वो सामने आया है। क्या होंगे इसके मुहर्रिकात, आगे जो आलमी मंजरनामा है उसमें ये डिफेंस पैक्ट क्या अहमियत रखता है और कौन से अवामिल थे जिसकी वजह से अब ज़रूरत आई कि ये डिफेंस पैक्ट होना चाहिए। तुर्की से एक पॉइंट ऑफ पर्सपेक्टिव जो है वो लेते हैं कि तुर्की के अंदर इस टाइम पर क्या हमें ज्वाइन किया है सीनियर सहाफ़ी और तज्जियाकार रसूल सरदार साहब ने। थैंक यू वेरी मच मिस्टर रसूल फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस। There's an important discussion that's going on a global level, as well as social media is literally flooded with different analysts putting their suggestions in the forefront as to what might have prompted this defense agreement between Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Pakistan. And obviously each country has its own perspective, and there's been official statements as well. But Mr. Rasool, from a Turkish perspective, exactly what does this entail to?
Well, I think October 7th of 2023 has changed the strategic environment in the region. So now we have an environment that is much more fragile, and also the delicacies across the region are just tremendous, and also it's very much unpredictable. And so the developments after October 7th have changed the strategic environment, and the regional countries gradually or increasingly have been forced somehow to look to each other, not just outside powers, for their security. So Israel's ongoing war on Gaza, and then its attacks on several countries in the region, is threatening language against almost any individual countries in the region. And so somehow what you're seeing is that the regional countries are in search of creating the blocks, the regional alliances to deal with these threats, the emerging threats, and the unpredictability, geopolitical unpredictabilities across the region. So it is mostly about the collective deterrence, because now the countries are convinced that individually none of them are going to be able to somehow prevent or to avoid these threats. That's why these countries, particularly the big three in the region, Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, coming together, joining their forces and joining their capabilities to achieve a regional deterrence. So it was mostly about the new geopolitical environment that has forced these countries into this position.
So the way that you're explaining it, that obviously there is a lot of changes in the geopolitical environment as well as the security threats that are illuminating from different parts of the globe, but particularly with the Israeli expansion as well as the war in Iran. But how does, like, three different elements, three different countries coming together with each different part, and what's been assessed so far, we don't have any official statements on that as well, is that the Turkish part is mostly related to the military industrial complex, and obviously Turkey is one of the countries that is far ahead in terms of technology. In terms of Turkey's contribution to this bloc, what is your perspective on that? How do you see that contribution coming in?
Well, look, the reason that this is being called as three big and the Mecca alliance among these three big is that each of the countries that are now in these alliances, they have their own capabilities. So for the Turkish part, one of the things is that Turkey already has NATO's second largest army and very advanced and sophisticated drone technology. Indeed, if you just regard the fact that more than 65% of the drone sales globally is from Turkey. So you will see that it's almost a monopoly in the global market when it comes to the drones and the drone technology. And beside that, so Turkey also has one of the world's fastest growing defense industry. And what we are talking about is not only about the drones. I think there is one misleading. Of course, Turkey's Bayraktar drones are extremely famous, but So Turkey is now producing the helicopters, producing the tanks, and there are the facilities, tons of the facilities, particularly when it comes to the ammunition. And indeed, in many parts of the world where there is a lack of the ammunition, so Turkey has been one of the main suppliers. So here, Turkey is going to come up, particularly with its sophisticated drone technology and also its very much robust defense industry into this game. But it's not only about that. Another fact is that, so in any way, the defense industry without the economical, financial resources cannot move forward. And when it comes to Turkey, despite the economic challenges that the country is facing, despite the chronic high inflation and so on, but Turkey is also one of the strongest manufacturing house or manufacturing hub in the region. Just remember last year in 2025, the total export figure of Turkey has exceeded $257 billion. And that is not coming from the gas or the oil, it's pure production. So you will see the Turkish products almost across the whole globe. And in that sense, so the economic productivity and also the advanced industry, the defense industry is what Turkey is going to put at the table. And also here, another third factor is the geography of the country, the location of the country. So in that sense, Saudi Arabia is an economic powerhouse. Pakistan is the only Muslim nation, Muslim majority nation with a nuclear capability. And Turkey having the second largest army in the NATO, a robust defense industry, and of course the very advanced drone technologies and with its manufacturing capacity.
सो वील गो टेक ए शॉर्ट लिटिल ब्रेक, लेकिन मैं नाजरीन को जो है वो समझाते हूँ कि रसूल सरदार साहब ने जो सवाल उनसे पूछे गए थे, एक पर्टिकुलर खुसूसी तौर पर ये सवाल था कि इस एग्रीमेंट की अभी ज़रूरत जो है वो क्या थी, और उन्होंने दो तरफ जो है वो इशारा जो है वो किया है। एक ये कि जो इजरायली एक्सपेंशन है और जो हम देख रहे हैं मिडल ईस्ट में इज़राइल जो करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, उसके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी था कि ये तीनों ममालिक जो है वो साथ में हाथ जोड़ें, और जिस तरह का एग्रीमेंट जो है वो सामने आया है डिफेंस के हवाले से। लेकिन उसमें दूसरा इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर उन्होंने कहा कि जो ईरान की जंग थी और उसमें जो नेगोशिएशन और बाद में किसी नतीजे पर जो है एक सीज़ फायर और फिर दोबारा जंग का आगाज़, उसने ख़ित्ते को मजमूई तौर पर जो है अनस्टेबल जो है वो कर दिया है, और उसके जो मुहर्रिकात हैं उसको इस तरह तब्दील कर दिए कि जिसमें अब ज़रूरत जो है वो पेश आई कि जो तीन बड़े ममालिक हैं जिनके अपने अपने ख़ास एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, खुसूसी तौर पर तुर्किये का उन्होंने ज़िक्र किया क्योंकि वो टर्की से बात कर रहे हैं कि एक तो नेटो के अंदर जो दूसरी सबसे बड़ी फ़ौज है वो तुर्किये की है, और इम्पॉर्टेंटली जो तुर्किये की ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी है वो सबसे फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग है। और सऊदी अरब के हवाले से उन्होंने कहा कि ऑब्वियसली वो एक मेजर इकोनॉमिक पावर है, और पाकिस्तान जो है वो मुस्लिम ममालिक का वाहिद न्यूक्लियर पावर है। इसलिए इन हालात के अंदर इन तीनों का आना, इकट्ठे होना डिफेंस कोऑपरेशन के लिए ये नागज़ीर हो चुका है।